I want you to meet Justin Bayne, one of the guys behind that controversial foreclosure on one of downtown Austin's prized pieces of real estate, the Capitol Grill building, right by the state capitol. Part of the bizarre real estate wars we told you about in Austin. The building is said to be worth about $25 million. And we've learned a lot of the money for that deal came from car dealerships in Austin. The very same car dealerships that claimed just a few weeks before they needed help from the government, PPP loans, during the COVID pandemic. There's a reason we want you to see Justin Bayne walking to his car, driving around Austin, and enjoying himself with friends at Sammy's. It's a new Italian place. Bayne had walked with his wife to the place. On that very same day, Chris Dotson, a partner in one of Houston's most powerful law firms, Bracewell,
we take our roles very seriously, I think, as advisors to our clients,
was sending an email that may come back to haunt him. In the email, he claims Justin Bayne, his client, the guy on the video, was literally bedridden. Quoting, "As I told you, he's in extreme pain, on serious medication, and in need of surgery." Dodson went further. He accused the lawyers on the other side of being insensitive to Bayne's health predicament. Oops. For weeks, lawyers in another real estate battle in Austin have been trying to put Justin Bayne under oath. It was supposed to happen August 13th, but Bracewell said Bayne had a debilitating pinched nerve in his neck. Quoting, "He's bedridden."
We're just a collection of people that are using sort of our collective creativity and analysis to help clients.
On August 23rd, Dotson claimed Bayne was now numb in his arm, looking at surgery. In our business, we call this a gotcha.
So if that sounds good, come work at Bracewell.
I'm glad Mr. Bayne looks happy and healthy, but he's clearly not telling the truth. And we gave Bracewell a chance to explain why they didn't tell the truth, because now they've got a big problem on their hands. Bayne is one of the players in the controversial foreclosures on tens of millions of dollars in Austin real estate. 8 properties belonging to Nate Paul's firm have been captured in the fight so far, even though there's video evidence that Paul was denied the chance to pay off some of the property debts before they were auctioned off.
Now do mother.
Paul claims it's part of a conspiracy to take properties with rigged foreclosures. And that's why this fight over another piece of Austin real estate is curious. 612 4th Street. One of Paul's company owns it, and since November has put up the money in escrow to pay off the debts on the loan. But he claims his competitors won't let him pay it off, and they're trying to seize the property from him. Paul thinks Bayne is key to exposing this alleged real estate conspiracy.
We are on the record. This is the videotape deposition of Brian Hardiman.
Actually, a front for the real kingpin in this real estate war, Austin car dealer Brian Hardiman.
I think I learned of it and passed it on to them.
Who sounds like he's pretty confident that he'll win cases in Travis County courtrooms.
Go find you a court in this building to come and stop this.
Okay.
Why don't you try that?
Okay.
Since Mr. Hardiman declined to talk to us, here's the next best thing. Under oath, Hardiman is asked if those millions in government bailouts we're investigating were actually used to buy real estate.
You know if any of those funds were used ultimately to flow into La Zona Rio.
Oh, I doubt it.
You doubt it? Who would be able to tell that?
Nobody would be able to.
But the timing of the transactions clearly raise eyebrows. On the very same day Hardiman's car dealerships got the government COVID bailout, Bayne created a company to buy the debt of the Capitol Grill building. 2 weeks later, 2 of those car dealerships invested $7.6 million in Bayne's company. Did they use bailout money?
We don't sit there and say, oh, well, that $5 went over there, or that $10 went to pay the utility bill. No.
I see, okay. So you can't distinguish between, to know whether the PPP loans were necessary to keep the employees employed or went to La Zona Rio, is that right?
It didn't do anything along those lines.
Along which line, sorry?
Those 2 things that you mentioned.
Houston attorney Mark Riley is smack dab in this widening real estate scandal. He's the auctioneer at these very contentious auctions. The last message I got from him was to call my lawyer. I haven't. I do imagine Justin Bayne is calling his lawyer after this stunning court filings documenting weeks of surveillance. So here's a free tip based on my decades of investigative experience. If you're going to claim you're bedridden to get out of a deposition, like stay in bed or at least stay inside, because you're likely being watched by guys like us. Look, I don't like depositions either, but these pictures of a bedridden guy actually walking around looking just fine, well, the lawyers at Bracewell have a lot of explaining to do to the judge. At least they should have, but they didn't. Federal Judge Tony Davis cut off the lawyers quickly after Bayne's lawyers said he was better, obviously, and they agreed to a date in early October for his sworn testimony. That should be fun. And the plot thickens even further. Remember, this is the same judge that Nate Paul accused last year of colluding with the alleged real estate fraud against him because of the judge's apparent relationship with a partner at, where else? Bracewell. That's because another Austin real estate investor, Alan Nall, says that's exactly the cat Brian Hardiman let out of the bag last year.
He called to tell me that his Bracewell attorneys had a relationship with Judge Davis, and they were working, this is shocking, and they were working out a plan.
I smell a much bigger story than one guy's miraculous medical recovery. Stay tuned.